Shelter-in-place orders, work from home, homeschooling, streaming our movies instead of going to theaters. We're leaning on our data connections harder than ever. Are these networks holding up? We gotta talk about your home internet. Juan Carlos Bagnell here for Reviews.org, and we're kicking this video off with two things up front. First, those buttons under the video, those aren't decorations. You want to know what's up with phones, networks, and smart home technology, so get clicking down there. And two, drop us a comment down below. How has your home internet held up over the last year? Has your connection gotten worse, stayed the same? Have you seen improvements? I know I could use a few happy stories about consumer tech, so don't be shy. Whoa howdy, let me tell you, digging into network coverage has definitely been tricky. Getting data on broadband and infrastructure takes time, and the reporting on this can sound a little lopsided. Do we highlight exciting speeds in a handful of smaller regions? Do we talk about average performance over the whole of a country? Self-reporting on broadband likely has a bit of confirmation bias to account for. Ookla's popular speed testing app shows around a 20% increase in home broadband speeds over 2020. The fastest services ranging from 35 megabits to 115 megabit downloads on average. But when we look a little deeper into the regions most popular for testing and the more premium devices that rank higher on those tests, it might seem that people who already have faster access are more inclined to test their own speeds on their own. The flip side of that, looking at countrywide averages, Netflix has brought back their ISP Speed Index, ranking countries and providers monthly on the traffic Netflix sees from their subscribers. The United States ranks as a country in the top performance tier, thankfully, but the average download speed for the USA is 3.6 megabits per second. That doesn't sound as exciting as the Ookla speed tests previously mentioned. My own personal journey would seem to support those conflicting ideas. We moved from a more city-centered location to a more rural suburb. And while my advertised broadband speeds stayed the same, my more anecdotal testing doesn't quite live up to the marketing. Running Ookla's speed test, I've got those big download numbers, but running a Netflix download test, not as fast. And for uploads, my ability to stream on services like Twitch and YouTube, that connection has been noticeably less stable. Add my wife's conference calls and my daughter's online schooling, and we're hitting that data pipe pretty hard. For many regions across the country, there doesn't seem to be much we can do to encourage more infrastructure upgrades. Aaron Epstein in North Hollywood recently made some headlines as he was so frustrated with his AT&T DSL that he took out a $10,000 quarter-page ad in the Wall Street Journal to air his grievances. After going viral, getting picked up by numerous media outlets and Stephen Colbert, AT&T sent out text to hook him up with 300 meg symmetrical fiber. Epstein lived about 3 blocks away from a neighborhood which already had access to AT&T fiber, claimed installation costs are too prohibitive for those consumers deemed not profitable enough to install fiber. Those folks are going to be sticking with DSL. So if you live a bit more rural, it's even less likely we'll get access to any significant competition in the near future. We all just have $10,000 lying around to lobby our various telecoms, right? It can be a bit of a bummer. I wrote an editorial 8 years ago, looking at the first steps the LA City Council was taking to start the process of considering their fiber rollout. It's still incredibly difficult to get info on coverage, even a basic map of what areas have access to what services. Trying to get more information directly from ISPs usually requires a whole questionnaire and sign-up process just to see plans and rates. So wouldn't it be nice to have a resource where you could just put in a zip code and get a general lay of the land for what your options might be? You know, some magical organization of folks reviewing services like broadband, a reviews.org. if you will. Couldn't help that, sorry. Joking aside, even before I was on the editorial team here, I did use the reviews.org site just to see what was available during our move out here to the burbs. I'll have to see if I can get the website team to start listing upload speeds also in the general search results. I'll have to report back on that later. It's a project. I'm new here. Back to the question at the top of this video. While we're all leaning on data more than ever before, has your home connection lived up to the challenge? Drop us those comments down below. Join some of the conversations. And while you're scrolling to join those comments, don't forget to hit like and subscribe on your way down. For reviews.org, I'm Juan Carlos Bagnell. Thanks so much for watching, for sharing and subscribing, and I'll catch you all on the next video.